sit down in your house. Ron's Championship Wrestling is coming at you. Wrestling the way it was meant to be, old style. Now your hosts for Ron's Championship Wrestling, Ron Wright and Terry Landell.
Championship Wrestling, and joining me at the desk, regardless of whether I want him to or not, is Terry Landell. Terry, the big thing I want to talk about, of course, next Saturday night, January the 25th, right here at the Armory. There's a big card. But the one thing is, this whole thing with Jeff Anderson and Dirty White Boy.
Well, you know, Les, you know, the wrestling business is really going crazy right here in Knoxville. You know, you got the White Boy. He's hot shot at Knoxville long enough, and it's time for Wild Man Jeff Anderson to get a break in this business. And the thing about the wrestling right now in Knoxville, we're going to start beating up and taking names. And if you got anybody that you won't beat up, you need to talk to the K-Town Daddy.
Is that what I need to talk? Well, let me ask you this. Now, you don't go to the ring with Jeff Anderson, so you're not actually his manager. You don't sit in his corner. Yet
well, how do you know I'm not?
Well, you may be, but you don't, not in the traditional sense.
Well, you need to sit back and watch this.
Well, you know what? I've watched a few wrestling matches in my 43 years in this business, and my curiosity is this. If you want to get involved, why don't you get a pair of wrestling trunks and get right on up there in that ring and get involved?
Well, you know, it's all about money. It's what a man can do in this business. You know, if I want to go out there, if I want to wrestle, I'll wrestle. If I want to go out there and manage and I want to buy all these contracts, I mean, that's the thing. It's pretty well known what Terry Landell can get done in Knoxville. If I want a man beat up out here in the street, if I want a man walked up and just smacked, I mean, it ain't nothing. Just throw out a couple $100 and get the job done. I mean, that's what Terry Landell's all about in Knoxville, and everybody knows it outside of Knoxville, too, there, Les.
Well, that's a big order, I think, Terry Landell. Let's talk a little about what's going to happen today. We got Rick Cannon and DG 2000 taking on Big Money Marcus and BJ Whitmer, which, by the way, have turned into quite a tag team. And then the guy we're talking about here, Wild Man Jeff Anderson, is taking on JR. And I assume that you're going to be sitting here with us while Jeff's in the ring, giving us your opinions of what you think is the greatest wrestler in Ron's Championship Wrestling.
That's right, Les. You know, Jeff Anderson, he just needs a break in this business, and the way I'm doing right now, I've got the contract, and I'll go ahead and break you the news. I really do want to let everybody know that Jeff Anderson has already signed a contract with the K-Town Daddy, and there's a lot of people going to, anybody that Ron Wright wants to bring out here on this TV or these wrestling arenas wants to get beat up, he can go ahead and he's bringing a lot of talent through Knoxville, and Wild Man Jeff Anderson's going to start beating them up. He's hitting the gym every day. He's working out. You know, that's what a lot of these boys don't do now. They don't go to this gym and they work out, you know. But one thing about it, Wild Man Jeff Anderson, you might see him go up down the interstate, me pulling him. You never know what Terry Landell and Wild Man Jeff Anderson's going to do.
Well, let's say a word of prayer for Jeff Anderson since he's signed with Terry Landell. We're going to have to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with action right after this.
Hello, this is Terry Landell with Tennessee Bonding Company. You know, everybody goes to jail out there. We want everybody to give us a call, 865-522-1776, and call Tennessee Bonding Company if you get put in jail.
Hello there, wrestling fans. I'd like to invite anybody out there on TV watching these wrestling programs. If you've got any desire and ambition to be a wrestler, you need to get in touch with us down at Ron's Gym. I've got a weight room down there to where we can build your body up, get you in condition, and get you in the ring, train you the right way, the way you should be trained, and get you off the ground and get you started in professional wrestling. Give me a call at Ron's Wrestling School. We appreciate it.
Wrestling fans, this opening contest on this edition of Ron's Championship Wrestling Tag Team Action. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee, Double A. Introducing first, team number one from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 235 pounds, B.J. Whitmer. His tag team partner from New York City, weighing in at 265 pounds, Big Money Marcus. Their opponents, from Cheyenne, Wyoming, weighing in at 250 pounds, Rick Cannon. His tag team partner from Knoxville, Tennessee, weighing in at 210 pounds,
tag team action. Big Money Marcus and B.J. Whitmer, which showed a lot in their first outing as a tag team combination, taking on Rick Cannon and DG2. What does DG2000 stand for, Terry Landell? You're the man with all the brains here.
I'd say the Dirty Dog.
The Dirty Dog. DG, is that how you spell dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you think. Marcus and Cannon started out, collar and elbow. Marcus takes him into the corner, driving those shoulders into the midsection. Snapmare. And a kick to the back. And goes to taunt the partner, DG2000, over the corner. Marcus, the veteran in this one, Terry, and of course his partner, B.J. Whitmer, 3 times in Japan for Pro Wrestling Noah. They make quite a tough combination.
You know, Les, I was sitting back and I was looking at this boy right here. This right here might be another good suspect for the K-Town Daddy. He's got a contract right here. You know, it's all about money in Knoxville. And these wrestling fans don't understand, you know, it's all about these managers out here, who's got the most money, and I've got a lot of money to spend. These guys is going to get out here and beat up these guys and win. I've got a lot of money coming in the doors.
I see. So you're looking to sign everybody that you think is of any value and try, I guess, building a team to control on championship wrestling.
I'm looking for me a good tag team right here. I've already got me a good man singles, and I'm looking at other guys in single matches. I mean, it's all about that who can go out there and beat up a man. I don't care if they have to beat them up in their front yard, have to go in their house and beat them up at the street, at the police department. It don't matter what they have to do to win. I will pay whatever I have to pay, Les Thatcher, to get a man knocked down right here.
Well, you came out here last week, stopped the match, and just for no reason at all other than you didn't like the way it was going, and walked Cody Hawk out of the ring and had some sort of contract. Now, have you signed that man to it?
Well, that's none of your business, Les. I'm not trying to get smart, but it's just business. And I'm looking at this guy. He don't know what's up in the air. He don't know what he wants. But, you know, it takes a lot of money to get this boy, and I'm looking at him. I mean, you know, the way he come in here to Ron's Championship Wrestling, we're looking for good, fresh, young talent where we can bring these women back into wrestling. I mean, we'll come and watch these guys.
Well, you're right. There's some good-looking young men. And right now, B.J. Whitmer happens to be the one that took the tag from Marcus. And DG2000 is catching it in their corner. Good tag team strategy by Whitmer and Marcus. They're keeping their opponent on their side of the ring. And BJ gets a 2 count.
That ain't right. The referee's not counting 1, 2, 3 too fast. And you people sit down in your house, you all watching it, and you know it ain't right. That's why this man is giving him a wrestling lesson right here. He had to come to Ron's Championship Wrestling, and he's going to show him from a different school what happened.
Whitmer putting the boots to him. 2000 in trouble. Marcus dropping off, and as Whitmer pulls the referee, Marcus goes to work on DG, and Marcus going to drop that elbow. And right now, if DG needs anything, he needs to get across that ring and tag Rick Cannon.
So he's got him beat 1, 2, 3 in the referee.
2 count, but no cigar. We want to remind you, coming up in our main event, it's Jeff Anderson, the Wild Man, taking on J.R. Stardog. I'm sorry.
Stardog. And you know, Les, I don't
Why are so many
understand
dogs involved?
There's a lot of dogs in Knoxville. I guess that's what they want to say. You know, half of them want to be dog catchers, and so they go out here and they run over dogs, and they want to pick them up and put them in their car and take them home and cook them. You can't never tell what they're going to do.
Well, I never ate dog, but DG2000 with the boot to Marcus, and a drop kick sends big money to the mat, but he only gets a 1 count. That's almost 300 pounds a man he's trying to hold down, and one drop kick is not going to do it. We want to remind you again, next Saturday, January the 25th, a big show right here at the Armory. And if you want to join us for TV tapings, you check the Bronze Championship Wrestling website and hotline for that information.
Well, Les, on Personality Profile, we got Big Money Marcus today.
That's right.
And, you know, a lot of people's going to check that out. But I'll tell you what, well, I'd like to know where Ron Wright is today. He's not.
Well, I'm sure he'll be here. I'm sure. Maybe he's trying to undo some of the things that you've screwed up over the weeks. I don't know.
I've never screwed up nothing right here on Ron's Championship
Okay.
Wrestling. Hey, I've always done a good deal right here.
3 count, and it's Marcus and Whitmer. score the win over 2000 and Rick Cannon. And this is one hot tag team, my friend. One very hot tag team. And as you mentioned, we have Big Money Marcus on our personality profile. Again, we want to remind you, Whitmer and Marcus won the match.
Well, they tell me that Ron Wright's in the building. I'm going to let him come back at personality profile. I don't even want to be out here. I've got something that's going to happen, and it's going to blow your mind, Les.
Well, it won't make much to blow my mind. Let's go to personality profile.
Welcome to Personality Profile this week here on Ron's Championship Wrestling. My guest at this time, Big Money Marcus. Welcome to the program.
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Give us a little rundown on how you got started in the business, who your first match was with, what inspired you to become a professional wrestler.
Well, I got into it on accident. I always watched it when I was growing up. One of my friends, his brother was one of the security guards, and we went in and was watching some of the greats, George Tanaka, Boris Malenko, some of those guys, and I thought, well, I think I can do this. So a friend of mine named Chris Powers asked me to go with him one night to Johnson City, and the guy that was running the show asked me to go out to the ring with him. You know, I had no idea what I was doing. I just went out there, stood by the ring. One of the fans started coming across. I just grabbed him by his head, throwed him across the rail, under the ring, got back. The guy come over and give me a payoff. So basically that's how I got started.
What year was that?
Oh, God. Early 80s, maybe, 83, 84.
Remember who your first match was with?
First match. That'd probably be the Mass Spoiler. At the time, he was just about ready to retire, rest his soul. He passed away a while back. And it was on a card up in Pikeville, Kentucky with Dusty Rhodes was headline with Black Bart.
You get into some legendary figures there. Did you yourself ever step into the ring with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes?
No, only passing. When I finally got a chance to go to WCW, when he was booking down there, I got to sit and talk with him for a while, and it was quite different.
I've always considered him the Hulk Hogan of his era. He was very, very active and drew a lot of crowds in back in the mid to late 70s and even into the early 80s. Who would you consider your toughest opponent to be to this day?
Oh gosh, was starting out in the early 80s till now. It's untelling. I've worked with everybody from the Road Warriors to the Steiners. I'd say about the toughest would probably be Steve Williams, Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Also, he had a long-time partnership and part rivalry with the late Terry Bam Bam Gordy. They were very active down in Bill Watts territory down in the Mid-South. I remember you from back in the Smoky Mountain days. You were carrying a violin case and being managed at that time by Jim Cornette, and you had a long-running rivalry with the Bullet.
Oh, yeah, well, since then, Smoky Mountain days, I went to Japan, WCW, WWF, but it seems all comes back here to Knoxville, and here in Knoxville I've had a couple run-ins with the Bullet since then, but, you know, he's a tough old guy.
Bob Armstrong, definitely one of the toughest in the business. Where do you see yourself with Ron's Championship Wrestling in the future of this organization here in Knoxville?
Well, I'm hoping to see myself at the top real soon. Dirty White Boy's got the belt, and that's what I'm after.
Well, I know the fans can look forward to a lot of exciting action. We're just kicking off, getting started, and we've got a lot of exciting things planned for the fans here in Knoxville, and looking forward to you being a part of that. We want to see a lot of exciting action. We know based on your past performances, you'll be able to do just that. So we want to thank you for coming out and being with us today on Personality Profile. Looking forward to seeing you do your thing in the ring. Fans, that's about all the time we have on this edition of Personality Profile here on Ron's Championship Wrestling. Now back to Les Thatcher.
All right, We're back from Personality Profile. You heard the comments of Big Money Marcus, and he and B.J. Whitmer are turning into quite a tag team combination. And, of course, back with me now, Ron Wright. And, Ron, you've got a guest with us, too.
Yeah, I brought my buddy out here. He wanted to do a little talk. You know, he got robbed here last week, some of that Landel underhanded stuff. It's a pleasure to have you out here. And
Pleasure to be with you, Ron. You know, it's great to be here in Ron's Championship Wrestling. The great one, Les Stature.
Thank
It's an honor to be out here with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, you know, I mentioned Terry Landell about this match earlier. The match was going pretty good. It was pretty even, Steve, and all of a sudden he walks out, pulls Cody Hawk out of the ring, and starts talking contract. Now, I understand talking contract, but not in the middle of a wrestling match or the middle of a TV show.
That's true. You know, Terry, he does about what he wants to do. Ron's had a lot of trouble with that.
can't keep him tied down, I'm telling you. I think it'd take 6 cops with 14 sets of handcuffs to keep him tied up and keep him interfering with matches and keeping things going peaceful.
You know what I mentioned to him earlier in this program, as I said, you know, if you want to get involved, why don't you get a pair of wrestling trunks and just crawl through them ropes and see how long you last. But I don't think that's what Terry Landell's about.
No, he's got to have somebody up there in the front of him where he can stay back behind him and make sure that he don't get his face smacked.
There you go. Well, V, of course, you're obviously like any other young wrestler. You're looking to work your way up. You're looking for that title. Right now, that's around the waist of the Dirty White Boy, which would be quite a challenge. You're looking forward to meeting him at some point in time.
Well, Les, you know, I'm up and coming, and if that comes about, if Ron's, you know, the championship committee would like to see that, I'd like to do it.
Well, good. And you're just going to keep working hard, keep improving, and looking to do better.
Well, I've got a good manager here, trainer, that's really helped me come along, and, you know, Ron helping me out, the sky's the limit.
Well, good. We're glad to hear that. So there's the comments, and we're going to have to take a commercial break. When we come back, Wild Man Jeff Anderson will be taking on J.R. Stardog.
Hello, this is Terry Landell with Tennessee Bonding Company. You know, everybody goes to jail out there. We want everybody to give us a call, 865-522-1776, and call Tennessee Bonding Company if you get put in jail.
Hello there, wrestling fans. I'd like to invite anybody out there on TV watching these wrestling programs. If you've got any desire and ambition to be a wrestler, you need to get in touch with us down at Ron's Gym. I've got a weight room down there to where we can build your body up, get you in condition, and get you in the ring, train you the right way, the way you should be trained, and get you off the ground and get you started in professional wrestling. Give me a call at Ron's Wrestling School. We appreciate it.
Wrestling fans, this is our feature contest in this edition of Ron's Championship Wrestling singles match, one fall, television time remaining. Your referee, Mr. Matt McMurray. Introducing first, from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 220 pounds, he is Astada. His opponent from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, weighing in at 255 pounds, he is the Wild Man, Jeff Anderson.
All right, Jeff Anderson out against J.R. Stardog. Ron Wright back at the mic with me. And, of course, Jeff Anderson and White Boy, this feud has been going on, seems like
It's
forever.
going on and on. It'll
Yes, sir.
run telling when it'll end, Les.
And, you know, I've just noticed that Anderson, Paradise City on the back of his trunks, I don't know if that's where he wishes he lives or exactly what that means.
Probably where he wishes to live more than likely.
And look at here, holding his hand out like he wants to shake somebody's hand, and now he's got size on Stardog. JR is going to have to keep moving. He's going to have to hit and run.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, old Jeff Anderson's rough, low down, dirty, and sneaking. You got to give the man credit. He's one tough character. A little show off for food.
Yep, he's styling and profiling. He knocks Dog down with the one tackle, and the size difference is going to tell here. If Anderson takes Stardog to the mat, there's no doubt Anderson has got the advantage. He's got the advantage in size and strength. Stardog is going to have to stay in the air. He's going to hit and go, hit and go, hit and run. Well, I'm not sure that any of the fans like either one of these guys.
It don't look like it, Dad.
Okay, we're looking at you. Stardog says, look at me.
And, you know, know, looks like he's a pretty good wrestler of his own.
Yeah, but I think if he keeps turning his back on Jeff Anderson, he's going to get the short end of the
He
stick.
probably will.
Anderson reversed the whip. Clotheslines. Stardog out of his boots.
Well, that just about laid him out. Took him a few seconds there to be able to even move, Les.
Yes, sir. Anderson takes him back in the corner. He's starting to chop on him. They're to light him up in that corner. Referee McMurray.
I feel that one out here.
Yes, sir. Backdrop out of the corner, and Anderson opening up, and the margin between them is getting wider all the time.
Yeah, looks like Anderson got it rolling his way now.
He's certainly the most experienced of the two, and as I mentioned earlier, Stardog, instead of worrying about arguing with the fans, should have been worried about putting Jeff Anderson's shoulders on the mat.
On the mat.
We want to remind you, fans, that next Saturday, January the 25th, we have live action here at the Armory in the evening, 8 o'clock the bell time. And for our next taping, please check Ron's Championship Wrestling website and the hotline. Anderson in control. Drop kick. Stardog off the apron onto the concrete floor. McMurray explained to him now this man's got a 10 count to get back in.
McMurray's got his hands full keeping Jeff Anderson.
Yes, he does. Anderson snapped over the top rope.
Man, he took a hard fall on that mat. That's got my neck to hurt now here, just watching that.
That neck breaker was tough. It sure was. Anderson with the boot. I'm going to tell you, this is a tough one. This is a
Like
tough
Jeff
one.
going to torture him now.
Yep. Stardog should have, when he had the chance, when he opened up, he got the advantage offensively, should have stayed right on top of Anderson. Okay, here's his chance. What's he going to do? Going to the second rope, trying to get fancy. Drops the leg. Going to the top again. Let's see if he's going to telegraph this one. Second leg. All right. Maybe I'm crazy here, but this boy's in it.
He's taking the wind out of Anderson now.
Anderson out on the count of 2. All right, here's where Stardog's losing it. Stay on top of him, young man. Front face locks him.
Needs to keep him going. Need to keep working him over now.
JR arm whips him on the backdrop. Try to pin him, young man. Try to pin him. You know what? There are times that years ago, you'd have knocked me down like that. I wish you'd have given me that much time to get back up.
Yeah, they take too much time anymore, Les, I'm telling you. Wrestling's changed.
It sure has, brother. Step over toe hold by JR Stardog. He's using the ropes on Anderson, using Anderson's tactics on him.
Yeah. Look like they both got them underhanded tactics today.
Well, the one good thing is we haven't seen or heard of Terry Landell.
Now, you know, that's unusual. Somebody probably got him back to back and got him handcuffed somewhere.
He was out here early, wondering where you were at. I said, you'd be along. Then he finally said, well, I don't want to be out here when Ron Wright's out here, which is fine. So as far as I'm concerned, you can stay. That means he won't be back.
Yeah, maybe he'll decide to stay back out of the way a while.
Anderson with a boot into the chest of JR Stardog, and Anderson methodically pecking away at Dog. Snaps the neck. And it looks like Anderson's leg is bothering him. It's like he's got some hamstring problem.
Yeah, I can't hardly get that leg straightened out now where he's worked on it so much.
Hamstring problems, yes, sir. And here again, Dog, hesitant, taking his time. Man, you got to be aggressive, young man, and especially with a veteran like Anderson. Snaps that neck, reports him back in.
And Anderson's legs are hurting him pretty bad, looks like. He can't get him worked out.
Yep, looks like that Charlie horse in that hamstring is giving him trouble. He's going to pull some JR outside. Going to go to work on him out here. He tries to run him into the post, but it's Dog shoving Anderson into the post. And again into that post.
This match is far from being over yet.
It sure is.
That Anderson leg looks like it's really giving him a problem out there.
Drop kick under the bottom rope by Stardog, and Stardog back in this one. You got to let Anderson in to beat him.
Once you count, you get counted out there.
Boot to the midsection. Anderson with a shot. Too much time, and JR is giving Anderson too much time. Neck breaker. The only
Still
thing,
favoring that leg pretty bad.
yes, he is, and I think that's the only thing that's keeping him from putting Stardog away at this point in time. Is he going to be able to keep him up? Is that leg going to give him too much trouble? Let's see where he's going. Spins him into a neck breaker off. Wait a minute. White Boy is in the arena. Dirty White Boy in, and he drops one out. Man, this is a rerun of what we just saw last week and the week before.
Other way around, though. That White Boy's getting even now.
Yes, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Terry Landell is hitting the ring. Oh, my God. What's he doing? Taking his... Well, that's the best he can do. Landell's going to work on White Boy. White Boy working on Anderson. JR Stardog's out. We have run out of time. We're going to have to get out of here. Les Thatcher for Ron Wright, everyone here, hoping that Terry Landell will disappear, but if he doesn't, join us again next week for more of Ron's Championship Wrestling.